So I am a fan of alt history, but I always think it's too tame. Like, what if Hitler won World War II? Or what if George Bush had his ball sack ripped off by a bear? Or something like that. Usually they are way too far back to be very poignant today, or so abstract it doesn't mean anything at all. I prefer the more zany alt history like Red Alert, or Command and Conquer Red Alert 2, or Command and Conquer Red Alert 3.
I'm escaping to the one place that hasn't been corrupted by capitalism. Space!
Don't get me wrong, it's not like I don't like it, but I feel like I can go more insane and try to bring more fantastical elements and zany bullshit from universes that are way beyond our own, and there's nothing more zany and bullshit than Warhammer 40k.
Smash. Smash. Pass. Pass.
Now, if you don't know what Warhammer 40k is, congrats on having a life. But I'm just going to play this clip from Mandalore that sums up 95% of the lore.
Hulk Hogan is in a cathedral, and he's fighting the devil. Hogan is wearing about 50 trucks worth of metal. Also, the cathedral is the size of Rhode Island, and in space.
You may have noticed in that video there are some demons, and in the Warhammer 40k canon, they actually exist right now and have been around for a bit of a time. And according to outdated lore, the god of plagues and decay Nurgle was created at the time of Black Death, the god of war Khorne was created during the Crusades, and the god of well sex Slanesh was made during the Renaissance. Wait, really? Did Michelangelo paint the Mona Lisa on a 6-day bender and fucking 5 whores a day? Anyway, and Tzeentch, the god of deceit and trickery, was made during the release of No Man's Sky, because nobody was more betrayed and deceived than on the release of No Man's Sky. Now, before the ultra nerds start going at me, saying that chaos gods are now in canon created during the War of Heaven, I know, but that still adds to my point. They've been around for a long ass time, and for the majority of that time, the gods of chaos just kind of left us alone, biding their times where they can make Horus their bitch. But I ponder, what if the chaos gods, in particular Khorne, decided to fuck with humanity?
I like to fight. I like to I like to have children. I got a life force. It's got hot cum going through it fast. I like to eat children. I'm setting fires every...
Why Khorne? Well, one, I think he's the only one that wouldn't just try to cause the most suffering, or end humanity by accident. I think he would gear humanity for the internal fight and give them a fighting chance. And I'm only doing Khorne today so I can save the rest for future videos. So comment down below if you want to see a Slanesh video, you horny bastards. Now, Khorne is the god of blood and battle. Blood for the blood god, skulls for the skull throne, all that biz. And such outbreak will come from the most warlike and warrior place imaginable, Denver, Colorado. I can imagine a lot of people do a satanic ritual to help them kill the Mormons across the border and accidentally bring demons into this realm. Now, these are the most normal and straightforward demons you can get. All they want is to fight, and because humanity is in the Inquisition on steroids, pretty regular one too. You see, in Warhammer, the warp, or what is essentially hell in this case, are affected by the emotions and thoughts of the real world. So in short, chaos only exists because we are shitty people. If we're all goody two-shoes and didn't shag sheep looking at you whales, the chaos gods just wouldn't exist. Currently, humanity ain't that bad, and most importantly, not billions upon billions on multiple systems. Thus, there just isn't enough fuel. Now, without that out of the way, some teenagers in Denver do a supposed satanic ritual rumored to bring demons into this realm. And it actually works.
Oh no!
The demons of Khorne come here to bring blood for the blood gods and skull for the skull fuck, and massacre the room only to be disappointed by how easy it was to kill a room of scared teenagers. Not being the gigantic demons that they can go toe to toe with space marines, but being on the taller end of regular humans today. Bursting out of the room, they would immediately go for the police station to fight with SWAT forces. Getting there involves murder, violence, and especially killing anyone who's avoiding to fight back. 20 minutes later, after the home guard revives to turn into a complete battle, the demons in all-out war suddenly poof out of existence, with the aura warp lingering. The castle fortress of Denver, Colorado is battered but only still standing. Without psychers, aka magic people that use the warp to fuel their brain magic warp bullshit, without them or anything, trying to keep the portal open, I really feel like most demons of Khorne will manage around 20 minutes max in our world, and that's it. So it would be brief and deadly, but its impact will shape humanity for the rest of the time, just like what your mom said. The reaction after the attack is mostly, what the fuck, demons are real. You can imagine how that could fuck everyone up. First of all, they would try to figure out what the hell happened. I can say the official reason would be aliens either teleported here or broken from a different dimension. Unofficially, I feel like it is just panic in the White House, having everyone on high alert in case they attack again, preparing for a full-on alien invasion. The rest of the world is the same, especially NATO, trying to communicate defenses and preparing for the worst. For the wider people at large, well, they just saw Satan attack Denver. The fact that core demons are the more typical biblical demons in the visual sense, however trivial, would greatly change how people respond to the breach. Imagine you say for decades Satan is going to doom the world and well, now you have proof. Anyone who is slightly religious now has proof that Satan is real. Religious fever runs wild in Europe, and the divide between Protestant Church and Catholics become an actual divide amongst people. In America, groups like the Church of Latter-day Saints and other smaller churches become frivolous with their righteous beliefs that they are the saviors of humanity and will solidify. In the Middle East and Africa, religious terror groups that already have a major presence in the area would see an increase in members and attacks. More militants and zealous politicians get elected, not at the same level as the Imperium of mankind, nowhere near that. More just like modern day Poland, fearing at any time the aliens will come back. Fast forward a couple of thousand years and humanity's out into space, colonizing and spreading their space genes to other planets. On one hand, genuinely sending out more cities and civilizations, and on the other hand, sending out military bases that are on a search and destroy mission for the aliens, or at least find them out. With this, they take more militant approach to alien worlds, killing hostile races and refuting communications. More like a more warlike Tau than anything. And if you know what a Tau are, you know that they are basically the UN of Warhammer right now. What would be kind of funny is that during these wars, members of the military would probably have been swayed by Khorne, going berserk and killing everything. Berserker disease is a massive widespread affliction, and humanity would try to figure out where it's coming from. Come to the conclusion that it was influenced from another dimension, fueling the need to find and stop the ancient adversary. So the Chaos God of War made humanity more warlike, and now humanity is in the billions. This fucks up the realm of Chaos more than it helps it. It becomes a three-way uneasy alliance against Khorne to try not get destroyed by him. Also, the reason they aren't so focused on real space at this time is just they're all in survival mode right now. So what about humanity and the other races? Well, in Warhammer currently, humanity is very undiplomatic, especially when it's approached against other races. And I feel like humanity in this case would be less so. So I mean, this is still like the 20th millennia. This is not the whole, emperor shit. So I feel like for the Necrons and the Tau, it'd be more productive. Well, for the Necrons specifically, humanity would be in a state to successfully contain and make sure more tomb walls are not awoken, but also be more peacemaking. Maybe looking for their anti-warp technology and most importantly, being the most important priority. And in this case, probably just let them have a piece of space and let them, just do whatever the fuck they want. And probably go into some Cold War, just like with the Tau. Humanity at some point will find the Eldar, and the first mistake probably, especially because they have the webway and teleportation abilities, mistake them as hostile. I can see a war breaking out between humanity and the craft world, but as soon as it dies down and communication builds, the Eldar become more instrumental in humanity's now ancient rival in actually breaking down what the warp is and how to beat it. Not out of love of humanity, but because they're still ununified Imperium state would be able to kill Slaanesh and the ancient Chaos Gods that no-scope 99% of Eldar, and the Eldar accidentally kinda caused and now claims all Eldar souls. So, kind of a long-term existential deal. As a side note, I can see that the warp teleporting infrastructure that the Imperium currently has now may be different in this reality. I think when they go through the warp teleport, they just are left the fuck alone, and that's probably pretty nice for them. I think they would be aware of warp on some level, but not to the extent and how it is affected. I can see this fed up and united humanity, whose singular goal to make the other dimension that makes them, teaming up with the Eldar in a massive crusade into the warp to kill the Chaos Gods. On entry, I can see they kill Slaanesh, and then the other two Chaos Gods offer the support against Khorne after a long and lengthy battle lasting generations. They will finally slay them. Then afterwards, remember, humanity is still in their prime, kill the other two gods. But what's probably more likely is that Nurgle is just kind of left alone, because who can hate Nurgle? And then Tzeentch betrays him and dies anyway. Humanity is still not forgiving him for the launch of No Man's Sky. Humanity in the wake of killing 4 Satans is exhausted and broken. Most worlds are very sparse, more turned into the industrial hellholes, and most are just a disillusioned and hateful for the sacrifice they had to give up. So much to basically kill a concept. Whatever held humanity together is burnt out in hatred. Soldiers come back either tainted by chaos or returning to the hellscape since time doesn't work the same way in the warp. They would have spent years of their lives to come back to a depressing dystopia where Hello Games still hasn't updated the No Man's Sky and where Half-Life 3 is a Fortnite DLC. So this is where the Age of Strife come in. Humanity breaks apart and the civil wars become more common and the universe becomes a bit of a tizzy. Thanks to the tizzy, the hatred, the death and the sheep shagging causes new chaos gods to form, and the whole cycle starts anew. The birth of these chaos gods absolutely rock the universe and humanity's on its last knees. And this is where the Emperor comes in. It unites humanity blah 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 with the extra added of the new chaos gods who birth probably attract Tyranids to come over, and it's just a whole mess. In summary, Warhammer 40k right now, but the Emperor is not yet fucking rickrolled. Thank you for listening to my essay. I hope you enjoyed it as much as I did in writing it. Don't forget to enjoy hitting that like button for my shall ego and smashing that sheep of a subscribe button. And I'll see you all in the terribly made what if Warhammer scenario.